Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Life or Death. Yes, we are back. Hopefully you guys had a nice few days off. I'm back from vacation. Really missed all of you. Missed our group talking about The Walking Dead, talking about random things, video games, you name it. Absolutely missed everybody and appreciate all of you being back. I got some super chats already. So, Valar, thank you so much. Valar with the shout out to the 99 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy, Kels, Bree, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, Patreons, super chatters. Missed everyone, and I got a super special shout out. And you can see over on the left side, I have to say happy birthday to Steph, the Cuervo Queen Richardson. So there you go. Notice the birthday cake over on the side. If you guys are, some people are hardcore Walking Dead fans, are going to say, this guy started a video. He rambled for 5 minutes thanking everybody before he ever talked about the Walking Dead. That's what we do. So this is part of our forum. Also, Pete D says, welcome back. Thank you so much, Pete D. Appreciate that super chat. And a little bit below that, you can see we've got The Walking Dead Our World video gameplay. And then we're going to talk about a whole lot of news that's out there. We're going to talk about rumors. We're going to talk about some confirmed characters that are going to be added onto the show. Just so many things going on. We got Comic-Con coming up this weekend. I mean, it's going to happen fast and furious. So I don't even know what. I'm reading a comment from a person who, yeah, I'm just going to move on. I took care of that before the moderators even got there. I'm reading a couple things here. All right, we're going to get right into it. I'll jump around to some super chats and some of the other things as they pop up. But let me start with the Walking Dead Our World augmented reality game. Did a video a couple hours ago if you guys want to check that out. My first pack opening. I like the game so far. It a lot of cooperation. It's only 25 people. I wish the guilds were bigger because, you know, clearly we could get 50, 75 to 100 people. We may have a casual gameplay, but if you guys are interested, HH is he's running the operation. I'm kind of helping, but he does a better job leading than I do. It's my right-hand man. He's just awesome with gameplay. So he is running the show. If you guys are interested, there he is, hired help right there. Look at that introduction. Submit an application. If you guys want to play, then we're going to raise the bar. So we'll have a couple different options out there. But more to come on that. But you got to be dedicated to it. If you're a hardcore gamer and you really want to be part of the 99 Army, then submit the application. And we're going to take 25 top players, and then we'll shuffle them around. We'll have a couple casual gameplay guilds as well. So here we go. Let's get to some of the news out there. Big news announced, I guess, a few hours ago. Lauren Ridloff is going to be Connie. And what's interesting about that is it does confirm that the storyline is going to kind of play out a certain way. Here's some of the news that I have for those of you that don't follow the comics that much. I'm still about 15 to 20 issues away from this, but we do know that the group is going to be scavenging up in Washington, D.C. So right outside of that area, apparently, they're going to meet Magna's group, and Connie is a part of Magna's group, and they end up coming back and joining Rick and Alexandria. And then a few issues after that is when the Whisperers are introduced. So I'm going to show you, this may or may not be a spoiler to you, but I'm going to show you a picture on the screen of some characters that have been unveiled or rumored. So if you don't want to see that, I'm going to go ahead and give you the warning. In 5 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and show that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's go ahead and there you go. Popping up on the screen now are characters who are going to show up on the show or already confirmed to show up on the show. Now, we don't know all the names of who they're going to be. So apparently this John Finn is going to be Earl. Now, I do know Earl is a blacksmith, and the only reason I know this is because in Walking Dead Road to Survival, see, all those times of playing Walking Dead Road to Survival and opening the cards did prepare me for the comic book a little bit. So this is some of the pictures of people that are rumored to play the character. Now, the Connie character they got wrong in the picture, by the way. That is going to be Lauren Ridloff, so ignore that. but these are some of the other characters. Now, they're also rumoring that Zach McGowan, because of the size of him, could be Beta. I'm going to need some help from some hardcore comic fans out there. Tell me a little bit about Beta. Tell me if you think Zach McGowan would be a good Beta character, those of you that are really hardcore, that are that far into it. And this is what's awesome about this group. We have just some hardcore participants that know a lot about a lot. I'm going to hold tight and get a couple comments here. And once again, this is kind of making its way. I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but I think that's the direction with some of the names. Like, we don't know who officially is going to be Magna. We don't know who's going to be Yumiko, but we are hearing those characters are going to be introduced. Thank you, BitNova. Appreciate that. So Dakota Page says would be a good Beta. Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about some of the storylines that are going to go down. I'm going to go back and just kind of focus on this picture a little bit, because this picture of Michonne really concerned me. And then you can see Gustavo Gomez as well over to the right of Michonne, and then Cindy as well. So Michonne looks very concerned. What do you think is going down here? Thank you so much, Maggie. Glad to be back. Nothing better than hanging out with all of you, so thank you so much. Michonne does look a little bit sad here, doesn't she? Like, that's her blank, kind of no emotion, dealing with stuff. We've seen that look before. Yeah, I agree. Melancholy. So, a little bit fed up. And Michonne is a pretty easy character to read, and then she goes through this withdrawal, like she shuts down. Because of the amount of new characters that are being introduced, I got to say there's going to be wholesale changes. And I am still holding out hope that Rick is going to make it through somehow through these time skips. But we're also hearing now that there's going to be 2 time skips. Now that's confusing. So here's a few of the rumors that are out there, and we're going to find out this Friday. We're going to find out with Comic-Con and when the trailer's released. So we're hearing Shane could be brought back. We're hearing Michael Cutlitz will be directing. I think it was episode 7. We're also hearing that there could be 2 time skips. We're also hearing, and this is confirmed, and Angela Kang actually said this, that she used the term Western, which kind of reminded me of what they're doing with Fear the Walking Dead, and I think they did it very well. But all these unlimited supplies of resources. Apparently this season is going to be about running out. They're running out of time. And the desperation is about to kick in. So they're going back to weapons that, instead of unlimited ammo, they're going to horses instead of unlimited gasoline. The infrastructure is going to start breaking down a little bit more. Electricity, they're going to be using candles and lights. So I think it's going to be more of a dark zombie type of flick. as opposed to, in Alexandria for a long time, they could just walk around Alexandria and feel safe. They had electricity and you could just kind of stay up, leave the light on, read a book, whatever you wanted to do. Not going to be like that anymore. So I think that darkness, that feeling of despair that you get with those horror movies, I think is going to be an underlying theme toward the middle to the end of season 9. So, Deidre Perkins says, love seeing my girl Michonne doing anything. So, with that being said, there are strong rumors that Denai is going to leave after season 9. So, you could have Rick leaving, maybe coming back, we hope. Michonne leaving, maybe coming back, we hope. And Maggie leaving. Now, the more I hear stuff like this, the more I got to go back to what we talked about 2 months ago. We did predict, and by we, I mean, I went on record as saying it. Some people agreed, some people disagreed. And I said, if Rick dies, Michonne dies. If Rick leaves, Michonne leaves. Because I didn't see the two of them separated. And you know what? I'm going to stand by it until proven wrong. And when I get the trailer, rest assured, I will break that trailer down like Magnum PI or whoever breaks stuff down. I don't know why Magnum PI popped in my head. But we will do an extended trailer breakdown with multiple shots of it and talk about some relevance to that. So, Ida Liberty says, for me, The Walking Dead is about survival, not about any one character. When I first started watching The Walking Dead, I wasn't familiar with any of the characters. And I agree with that. A lot of people don't. It is, through the years, people have gotten attached to characters more so than others. I've always enjoyed watching Andrew and watching Rick. You know how I feel. I will enjoy the show regardless. Some people won't watch, and I respect the fact that they won't watch. But for me, Ida, it is the exact same thing. I watch for the story, not for a few characters. So as they introduce new characters, I'm going to be right there trying to understand them and trying to get into, what they mean to the show. So Hired Help says he gets attached to Game of Thrones characters, but not so much Walking Dead characters. And, Hired Help, the thing is, with Game of Thrones, they will exit those characters really, really quickly. And in some cases, quicker than The Walking Dead. What's up, John B? So, Ida, here's the thing that I've learned really about, and I appreciate your comments, but, the comment is we have to keep in mind this is a zombie apocalypse and no one is invincible. But here's the thing I would say to that is I know this group really well, and the term we does not always work because I've made that mistake many times in saying we have to do this, we have to do this. And I've learned enough. If anything, I've learned about my subscribers, my viewers. There's we as far as us breaking things down, but there's some strong, strong individuals. And I think a lot of them will watch the show, and I think a lot of them will want to be a part of our chats because we got an awesome group. But there's going to be some that are going to leave. They're just... They love characters so much, and they have their own rationale for watching. And I think part of what I wanted to do in today's video is life and death, is think about how these new characters are going to contribute, both from a financial perspective and from a story perspective. What is going on? Wait a minute. So it's Chip Smith and the Cuervo Queen's birthday. Happy birthday to both. Hey, we got Cuervo and Chips. Okay, that was, sorry, it was a little corny, but it's all in good fun, and you guys know the love. So thank you so much, Chip. Super chatting on your birthday. And good to see you. You guys know you missed all the live streams and the corny jokes and all of that stuff. So, life and death. The life being the new characters. And, once again, Earl the Blacksmith, not a major character. I don't think he's going to be around. But Alpha, Beta, Magna, Yumiko, Connie, that whole group, we've talked about it. Will Magna lead the group if Rick and Michonne leave? Question I have for everybody. This is the part where everybody in the 999 Army, I need you to participate. Do me a favor, everybody slap that like button. Let's get this video liked. When the video goes live, leave some comments, circulate it, hit the subscribe button. You guys know, do all that cool stuff, because we need more thoughts, more ideas, and more people involved in what we talk about, especially as we get to Comic-Con trailers and as we get all the way through the season. And if you're Fear the Walking Dead fans, then stay tuned, because we'll be doing that as well. So a lot of people are saying no. But we don't know that yet, because we haven't seen what the character's capable of doing. And it may take a little bit of a turn from the comic. So it feels more and more like the time skip is going to devour Rick. That's what I'm feeling with these multiple time skips. I think that's where the confusion is going to kick in. Is it possible that Rick disappears? Okay, let me kind of think this through a little bit. So we get the first time skip when the show starts. We see baby Herschel, baby Glenn, whatever we're going to call him. We see that the group is moving on. Year and a half, maybe. Then we get the next danger. We meet new groups. We're expanding. So, would they advance another year or two and leave us wondering for a season what happened to Rick Grimes, like they did with Madison? I'm down for that. You know what? I would like it. I would like getting together for a year and just wondering where the hell Rick is. So, how many people, I want to ask the question the right way. Are you opposed to that? Is it bad writing? Is it necessity at this point? If Andrew truly does want to leave the show, which is what we're hearing. We haven't heard it from him, but it's what we're hearing. We got some super chats. I want to give a couple shout-outs as well, too. Because I missed it just a minute ago. And Dashing One, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Moderators, if you see a question posted by Dashing One because it wasn't highlighted in the super chat, can you just kind of flag it? Let me know what's up. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. I'm like super, super into this thought process. And also do want to, I saw another super chat as well. So we got Right Side of Elections 2018. Thank you so much for that super chat as well. So, yeah. Highlight those, Kel or Steph, and just kind of shoot it over to me so we can answer their next question. So KCF says, I could deal with that, don't want Rick dead. So let me kind of ask the question again. As a viewer, would you be okay? You have no control over the first time skip. That's done. That's happening in episode number 1. But as a viewer, are you okay with another time skip and new characters being there, maybe a new leader, maybe a whole 5 or 6 people we got to get to know, and looking around saying, where's Rick? What happened to Rick? Where's Michonne? And going about a year wondering what their fate was. Are they dead? Are they captured? Did they leave? What happened? Because it was a little bit vague in the comic of what happened to Michonne. And why Michonne left. So Right Side of Elections asked a follow-up question and said, will the Whispers be introduced after the second time skip? Yeah, I think so. I think that's where, after we get back from the break, I don't think it's going to be in the first half. So Valerie says, down with that idea. Deidre, sort of okay with that. Here's the feeling or the vibe. Because of the cliffhanger at the end of 6, there was this bad vibe, and there were people said they should never do that again. They shouldn't. I will tell you, from a interaction standpoint and from a YouTube standpoint, there was never more engagement than at the end of season 6. And the lead up to that with who died and how did it go down and the conversations around it. I do think a undetermined fate. Maybe they don't even know yet. But I'm okay with opening the door, leaving a possibility of Rick coming back. Sergeant Chosen One. Absolutely. So we got several birthdays today. So today is Amy Chosen One's birthday. So I just want to say happy birthday to you, Amy. And you got an awesome brother. Bringing it on YouTube. So you guys do me a favor. People watching, if everybody, first of all, could just say happy birthday real quick to Amy, that would be awesome. And number 2, if you're watching the playback, if you're not watching what we do live, leave it in the comments below. So, Amy gets a little special shout out. So we got Chip, Steph, and Amy birthdays today. You know what, Valerie? That is an awesome question. Where is Dwight in all of this? That is a question for the 999 Army. So I'm going to ask all of you. Where's Dwight? Did Dwight turn rogue? Did Dwight not have a home to go back to? Is Dwight going... I feel like Rick and Michonne are going to leave. And Dwight is going to come back to Alexandria to let whoever is in charge know And I think Dwight might lead the Saviors. I agree with that. Izarala leading the remnant of the Saviors, what's left of them. Helping them get ready, helping them become good partners. How many people are okay with Dwight now? I know for a long time Dwight got a bad rap. Is there anybody here that's just totally anti-Dwight? I agree with that. Lakeisha says Dwight discovers the Whisperers. Justin said he's redeemed himself. Fluff says he's okay. Cammy says he's okay. I like Dwighty. Now, I'm not going to call anybody out, but I will say the writers have brought several people back. I was okay with Dwight from the start, but there's a lot of people who said they would never forgive Dwight. Okay. Thanks, Steph. So I do have Dashing One's follow-up question. I've missed it in the stream. So Dashing One, we're getting back to you. What if Rick gets the head on a pike death, Daryl puts Rick down, going back to when Rick called Daryl's brother, it would be the second person Daryl had to put down. I don't see it. Maybe I'm in denial, Dashing. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible for Rick to be the beginning and to show how ultimately evil. But I just can't visualize it, and I can't buy into that story right now. Now, if you want the Whisperers to be beyond evil, you want them to be beyond Negan and the Saviors, then you kill Rick Grimes. But the writers have a very difficult task. Because how many of you in here, be honest. How many of you in here are going to hold Rick's life for ransom? How many of you are in here that are part of that contingency to say, Rick dies and blah, 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 blah? Be honest, because I know some of you are. And it's okay. And I think that's the problem that the writers are going to have to deal with, is if they kill Rick, I don't think it can be like Game of Thrones. And I'm not going to spoil it because some people have not watched Game of Thrones and you're going to. But the way they kill off characters, I just don't see Rick Grimes dying. Blue, absolutely. The writers are supposed to be prepared, but there's people leaving, and then there's Rick leaving. Happy birthday, Joe John. I mean, Rick's at a whole different level. I absolutely feel the pain of my hardcore Rick Grimes fans that are out there. But it's going to be a big topic at Comic-Con. They're going to avoid it like they've never avoided, I don't think you're going to get any hints. But I just feel like the writers have such a tremendous opportunity to leave the door open and keep all of us interested. Because, let's face it, if 5 million people watch The Walking Dead, 20%, this is a unofficial 999 gaming statistic. Don't hold me to it. If Rick dies, 20% of the audience leaves. Now, I want that to resonate for a minute, because the theme of this video is life and death. Now, I do have to use this as a disclaimer, and please do not take this as an insensitive remark, because I'm not comparing directly claims of abuse versus someone leaving the show. However, The Walking Dead AMC removing Chris Hardwick as they do more research was a business move. Would you agree with that? That they would lose sponsors, there would be people boycotting the show, and a lot of companies do that. Not saying they should or they shouldn't. I'm not involved in that debate. But if they are willing to take the necessary precautions around something that could affect their business, losing Rick Grimes affects their business as well. Would you agree with that? And there's going to be one person that says, Kills, I can't believe you made that comparison. It's apples and oranges. I totally get that, and I'm not trying to desensitize the issue. It's a sensitive issue, and I've avoided it because you can't get it right. There's people on both sides of the argument. So if they're willing to do that to be cautious enough, I also think they're willing. They know the impact if they kill Rick Grimes. You have to know that. You have to know that you could lose 1 million viewers from your TV show. You lose 1 million viewers, you lose advertising dollars. So leaving that door open is the best possible move they could do. If they don't, it is the biggest missed opportunity, I think, ever in writing. Because it's going to take multiple seasons to build back up an audience if you're lucky, and if your story is great, and if your characters are phenomenal. But you won't recoup those 1 million fans back just by changing the story. Now, there's going to be a lot of us that won't leave. I'll give you that. There's going to be a lot of us that stay. But once you lose those 1 million, 1.5 million people, you're never getting them back. And if Gimple doesn't know that, if Angela Kang doesn't know that, if AMC doesn't know that, if the writers don't know that, then they're naive. They do. And they understand the impact. A Walking Dead show where you kill off Rick and put his head on a pike by the Whispers will be the highest watched show of The Walking Dead ever. And then after that, it's gone. After that, you're going to get a huge decline. That's the reality. And I think the passion from the fans is definitely telling them something they already know. But everybody's going to watch the death of Rick Grimes, of course. But then after that, it's going to be, okay, it's a lot of work, getting to know all these characters all over again. And I'm not saying it'll be bad. I'm just saying there's some people that won't want to make the emotional investment, and I'm okay with that. All right, I'm going to catch up on a couple comments here. Dashing One says, "Would they kill Rick in another gruesome way, but bring the whispers?" I think you're running into the same issue. I think no matter, there is not an epic enough death for Rick Grimes. And what we're also hearing is that there are multiple scenes filmed. So people still don't know whether he lives or dies. I agree with that. Hired Help says the only way it makes sense for Rick to die is Carl's still alive. I am still, and you know what? I'm going to say it in multiple videos. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. But I feel more conviction to stay with this theory, especially with the time skips. I think Rick and Michonne leave. Whether they're out looking for something else, whether they feel the heat and they don't want to be in a leadership role anymore, whether they feel like the only way they can keep Judith safe is if it's just them. I would totally be around that story. If Rick Grimes says, "I've had enough and I just went through this war and I've seen people that I care about and I've made right decisions, I've made wrong decisions. I can't do it anymore. I need to get away." Michonne is not leaving him behind. And he's not leaving her behind. Michonne, from what I've heard, is a couple new movies lined up. Maybe 3. Denai could be in as many as 3 movies. I think it'd be a great thing to give them a year or 2 break. But leave the door open for us to come back. Absolutely. Casey, the only problem with that is if Michonne is pregnant and they leave, I would think they better take Sadiq. But, hey, hold on a minute. Did Michonne not know Sadiq on the boat when they were pirates? So if you want to talk comic storylines, and this is what's funny, is so many people are eager to say, well, Kills, it can't be like that because this is the way the comic went down. But Michonne left. Now, Rick didn't go with her, but there was Pete, there was Sadiq, and there was Michonne when she left. So, yeah, why not make it, there you go, I'll buy into that. Maybe they take the doctor. Maybe they take Sadiq. Shannon M., I'm right there with you. I still think Rick leaves. He lives and leaves. And that's a great point as well. Joe Kravitz says Rick is worth far more to AMC and the ever-expanding Walking Dead universe alive than dead. So let me, as we wind down this video, let me just get a couple thoughts in. If you're a business manager for AMC and Andrew Lincoln comes to you and says, hey, I want to leave. You say, Andrew, take a couple years off. We're going to pay you whatever you want to come back. And I think Joe Kravitz just hit the nail right on the head. If Rick dies, Walking Dead bobbleheads, Rick Grimes die down. Rick Grimes t-shirts die down. Rick Grimes, the interest in Rick Grimes in the comic might be a little bit warped. Rick Grimes in video games, the interest dies down a little bit. Rick Grimes calendars. I mean, there's so much in the Walking Dead universe that Rick is a part of. You're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in potential revenue over the life of the show. I agree with that, Michelle M. Michelle M. says, Lucille that like button. You know, Maria, I could get behind that too. I would let him take a break and I would just pay him. So as we wind down, and let me say this. It's good to be back, and it's good to be around the 999 Army. But we got our tight... look, I'm not going to compare myself to Rick Grimes, but let's say I left last week for a vacation, and someone else just picked up the microphone tonight. And you guys are wondering, like, where's Kills? Who is this person talking to us? There's a connection. There's a network. It would be different. And many of you might not even come back. So it is important. It is important to dance with the person that brung you. Wouldn't be the same. So I'm going to throw just a video game analogy in there because there's one thing I do know is Walking Dead video games. When characters died on the show, I found myself not wanting to collect their characters as much. So even The Walking Dead Our World, one last advertisement, and this is free. Hey, this is free advertising for Walking Dead video games. They did not pay me to put that little ad up there. I am less interested in using, I got a Legendary Glenn. I'm not really using it that much. I'm using Rick Grimes. Because I still have that connection to Rick. If Rick dies on the show and I'm playing Walking Dead Our World, I'm probably going to be, just subconsciously, more likely to play a character that I watch and I rally behind. Just think about that a little bit. AMC, if you're listening, you're watching these videos, and you go through our streams, and you see the pulse of Walking Dead, the 999 Army has a very strong pulse of how we feel about the show and our passion. Leave the door open. Pay Rick if he wants to be paid. Pay Andrew. I guess you're not going to pay Rick, but pay Andrew. Not that he's probably even asking for it. Just be a good faith thing. Like, you know what? Come back in a couple years, Andy. We got a story for you. Exactly. BitNova. All right, everybody. We're 45 minutes into this video. I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are absolutely awesome. Guess what? We're going to be doing this again tomorrow night. So look for a lot of streams this week. We are back in full effect. So many topics as we sort things out and we count down to Comic-Con. Going to be new news, new information. Appreciate your feedback. Appreciate your involvement. Do me a favor, slap that like button. Walking Dead Our World. I think we have 25 people at this point, but we have some pretty high standards in video game play. We constantly want people active and people involved. You can submit the application. We'll take a look at it. But some people, they want to get involved in a group and they just don't play a whole lot, and that's understandable. We'll probably set up a casual guild as well. Some people can hang out with the 999 Army. But we really want to push this up and just bring a lot of notoriety to the group. So thank you so much. Appreciate everybody's part of the video game play. Check out some of the videos. We'll be doing pack openings, etc. We'll be doing some predictions and all of our Walking Dead stuff. Appreciate everybody being here, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 9:30. Definitely. There might be a couple sneak live streams either later on tonight or sometime during the day tomorrow. So stay tuned. Catch me if you can. All right. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you all. Give me a quick 909 so I can do some shout-outs. Want to thank all the sponsors. You guys can see them up there on the top right, and they are in green color, and they have the nice emojis. You can see over on the left side all of our patrons that sponsor the channel. The moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kel, and also the birthday shout-outs we got today. Special birthday shout-out to the Cuervo Queen, Steph Richardson. You can see that, her little Patron cake over there. I made that myself. And here we go, a few shout-outs. Tammy Heitzman, thanks. Julie McGuire, Sasha Eller, Lisa Khaleesi, Dashing One, Hired Help, Mock Studios, Joey Price, Ron Burgundy, Walking Dead Nerd 13, Michelle M, Emma Michalik. Emma didn't give me like a whole ton of hearts this time. It's okay. I forgive you. Deborah Mooney, Valar, thank you so much. Valar, we will be, it probably won't be this week, but I think we'll get back to our Game of Thrones hopefully next week. This week's going to be pretty action-packed with Walking Dead topics. Dakota Page, Walani, Ty Beth, thank you for being here. Howling Wolf, Jane Porter, Wilson, what's up, Wilson? The Gaming Squad, Sergeant Chosen One, and his sister, Amy. Joe Kravitz, you know what? That's a great point. Imagine if Gene Roddenberry killed off Captain Kirk before they were. Yeah, that would have ended the show. Dawn of the Frank, thanks for being here. Samantha Coombs, Gina Crockett, Casey LeBaum. I might have messed up your name, but I gave it my best shot. Daryl Dixon fan, Maggie B, good to see you. Carol Leathers, Ida Liberty, Bumblebee Brown, good to see you. F-ball stuff. Melinda Kettler, thank you. Missed you too. Thank you for being here. Maria Favada. I'm not sure if I gave you an earlier shout out. If I did, you got two. Hopefully my vacation voice is... Does my voice sound tan? Because I'm like really tan right now. We will do... we'll do random things. Maybe we'll do it this week. And then I'll go through had some really interesting vacation stuff. But yeah, we'll talk about some random stuff. Fluff, what's going on? And I don't know if I saw Hippo. Lakeisha, thank you so much. Thank you for making it a good stream. Appreciate your involvement, your interaction. Have a good night, Wilani. And if I missed anybody in a shout out, once this video goes live, just leave it in the comments below. Some people, they step away. Some people are on a little bit more lag than others. But it's never intentional. And leave your thoughts, leave your comments. A lot of stuff we talked about tonight. Some potential characters. We got a couple sneak peeks and, maybe some storylines that could go down. Thank you, Casey. I am very rested. Probably a little too rested. I wouldn't say I'm mellow. I think I'm somewhere between mellow and my normal high-strung kind of theme. Tanya Dockstader, thank you so much. Glad to be back. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. Once again, if I missed you, sorry. I'll try to get everybody tomorrow night. Peace.